Sir, I would like to just address some comments to Mr. Clayton Mitchell's SOP number 150, and I believe as a member of the committee, he warrants.
No, I don't think you want to yet. I think you want to wait till we get on to part 3. Right?
Right, thank you, sir.
Right. Ian Lees-Galloway.
Chairman, I would like to speak to Denise Roche's SOP because I don't think anybody other than Denise Roche has had a chance to speak to her SOP, and I particularly want to speak to her proposed amendment to clause 89, which is to delete new section 130C. Which I thought I had in front of me, and now I'm not convinced that I do. Sorry, 131C, yes. So 131C says, and this is to do with the wages and time record keeping. Now, keeping good wages and time records are really important, particularly for people who are salaried, and that salary is effectively very close to the minimum wage. Because if those people end up working more hours than their employment agreement indicates that they're supposed to be working, there is a very real risk, and this does happen, of people actually ending up earning less than the minimum wage. They work more hours, don't get any more pay for it, and they end up earning less than the minimum wage. And I appreciate that there's amendments in the bill that are designed to address this issue. But Denise Roche has raised the issue of section 131C, which says that an employee's usual hours include any reasonable additional hours worked in accordance with the employee's employment agreement. So that's actually leaving the door open a little bit to an employee's usual hours, saying that an employee's usual hours actually include any reasonable additional hours. They're just a few extra hours here and there, and they're reasonable, and they probably often happen, or they often happen under certain circumstances. It does just leave the door open a little bit to the exact exploitation that the Minister and the Government are trying to clamp down on with the other parts of Section 89. So I agree with Denise Roche, and we'll be voting to support the deletion of clause 89. It seems contrary to the purpose of clause 89 to have 1C included in there. Yes, that probably means a little bit more record keeping for some employers, but I think it's the kind of record keeping that's actually valuable from the employee's point of view, because it's the kind of record keeping that helps us to prevent exploitation of workers. And I think that is worth doing. I appreciate that there's been, again, getting the words right around this has been something which the officials have taken great care on to make sure, for instance, that the CEO of ANZ, who, let's face it, is nowhere near in danger of being on the minimum wage, that there isn't loads of record keeping having to be done around their hours. But we do need to make sure that the people who we are trying to support, the people who we're trying to make sure are prevented from being exploited, genuinely are, and we don't leave loopholes. Because let's face it, what we're doing with part 2 of this legislation is closing a series of loopholes that were exploited by bad employers and resulted in 0 hours contracts. So let's not leave any more loopholes. We sometimes do that by error, but in this case we've noticed one, we can get rid of it, and I will certainly be supporting Denise Roche's SOP in that regard.